Hello everyone. This is Darshana from 2nd MSc Mathematics, St. Joseph College of Arts and Science, Kadalur, Tamil Nadu, India. Hope you all are doing well. It's been tough for all of us since COVID-19 outbreak. With decreasing active cases and increasing vaccination rates, we are trying to accommodate ourselves back to normal routines. Let us strive today for a better tomorrow. When you kneel to God, He stands up for you. And when He stands up for you, no one can stand against you. On that note, let us have today's webinar started with our Lord Almighty's grace on us. Inviting Ms. Helen Jency from 2nd MSc Mathematics to begin with prayer.
Prayer. God our Father in heaven, the creator of the universe, we believe that you created everything out of nothing. And in you, we all have our faith, hope, and love. We sincerely thank you, O Lord, for enabling the human capacity to adapt all kinds of inconveniences. As we have set apart this day and time to discuss on functional equations, help us to relate the values of functions and make us all to understand that even the unknown functions in everything. Bless, O Lord, the presenter who is going to share his views and ideas. Enable us, Lord, to be connected with everyone so that we may get benefited a lot out of this webinar. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Helen Jency. Small cheer and great welcome make a merry feast. Now, I request Dr. L. Jethruth Emelda Mary, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, to deliver welcome address.
Good morning and massive welcome. On behalf of PG and Research Department of Mathematics, I welcome you all to this prestigious webinar on multiplicative inverse functional equations and their applications. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. With great honor and pleasure, I welcome the Chief Patron, most respected Reverend Father G. Peter Rajendra, Secretary, to preside over the function. Welcome, Father. The essence of great leadership is influence, not authority. I wholeheartedly welcome such leader, respected Professor Dr. M. Armiselva, the principal, to share his thoughts. Welcome, sir. Leadership is an action, not a position. With immense pleasure and joy, I welcome respected Professor Dr. J. John Arikaraj, Vice Principal and Convener of IWFA 2021. He is the person who put his soul and art in uplifting others. Welcome, sir, to enlighten us with your words. Star shines at night, even some stars shine bright on the day. I proudly welcome such stars, Reverend Father Dr. S. Xavier, Controller of Examinations, and respected Reverend Father Dr. A. Alex, Dean of Studies, to felicitate today's event. Next, I extend my warm welcome to the eminent Professor Dr. B.V. Sendil Kumar, the resource person, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Oman. It is a great joy for all of us to have such a personality among us. We all are keen to hear from you, sir. A fraternal welcome to the delegates from all over the country. Your presence is highly valuable. Last but not the least, I sincerely welcome my faculty friends and students from SJC for this webinar. I believe today is going to be a good day to enrich your knowledge and gain more. Once again, I welcome everyone. Thank you. Have a nice session.
Thank you, ma'am. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Next, I request Reverend Father G. Peter Rajendram, Secretary of St. Joseph College of Arts and Science, to give his presidential address.
Most respected Dr. Sendil Kumar, resource person of today. Respected the Principal of the College, Dr. M. Arumai Selvam, Vice Principal and the Head of the Department of Mathematics, Dr. John Arakaraj, and other dignitaries, the faculty members of mathematics of our college, the delegates participating in this seminar, and my dear students. Good morning to you all. It gives me immense pleasure to be here with you, all of you, and wish you all success. I most heartily congratulate Dr. John Arakaraj for visualizing certain things and then do it perfectly well. I thank him for his cooperation in our college for all other activities. I thank all the faculty members of mathematics and the coordinator of this program for giving us full support and then having a wonderful program. I thank also Dr. Sendil Kumar for sparing his time with us. I wish his seminar will be a fruitful one for everyone. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you, Father, for addressing the audience on this special event. Moving forward, I request Professor Dr. M. Arumai Selvam, Principal and Head of the Department of Computer Science, to convey us with his felicitation.
Most respected Reverend Father Secretary, who is presiding this program, respected Vice Principal Dr. John Arakaraj, respected resource person of today's program, Dr. Sendil Kumar, Control of Examinations, Reverend Father Xavier, Dean of Studies, Reverend Father Alex, dear members of the staff and my dear students, wish you all a very happy morning. First of all, I would like to congratulate and also appreciate Dr. John Arakaraj and his team for arranging this international webinar. And it is a correct time or off time that for the advancement and development of the students community, the department is arranging this webinar. The webinar stands as an international webinar, and resource person and enlightened personality is going to enlighten all our students of mathematics. Mathematics is called the Queen of Science, and the students who gain mathematics, and you must be happy about the Secretary Father is a mathematics degree holder, the principal is a mathematics degree holder, where HOD and Vice Principal is also a mathematics degree holders. We all gained our degrees with Jesuit institutions like Loyola College and St. Xavier's College. I hope this session will enlighten, also enrich all our students to develop their career. So with these few words, once again, I congratulate and appreciate the Department of Mathematics headed by Dr. John Arakaraj for arranging this webinar. Thank you. Wish you all the best.
Please unmute the mic and talk.
Thank you, sir, for your sublime speech. Now, I request Professor Dr. J. John Arogyaraj, Vice Principal and Convener of International Webinar on Functional Equations 2021, to grace this event with his words.
Good morning, all of you. Most respected Reverend Father Secretary, the Captain of our college, respected the Principal of our college, Dr. M. Arumai Selvam, Reverend Father Dr. Xavier, the Controller of Examinations, Reverend Father Alex, Dean of Studies, and today's resource person, Dr. B.V. Senthil Kumar from Oman, my dear staff members from our institution and various other institutions all over India, and all my student friends. I wish you all a very happy morning today. It is indeed a happy occasion that our department is organizing an international webinar. I really thank all the staff members, in particular the organizing secretaries, Dr. Imelda and Dr. Rajesh, for having arranged this wonderful program for the betterment of the students and as well as to extra feather to our institution. I also thank all the faculty members and students for having helped them. And I wish to place my gratitude to Dr. B.V. Senthil Kumar for having accepted our invitation to be the resource person for this particular session and to inaugurate and to enlighten the students also. I really mention my gratefulness to you, B.V. Senthil Kumar sir. Thank you so much, sir. And I also wish all the student participants and also the research scholars to be benefited out of great scholars' words in the new particular field, so that you will be getting new ideas from him. So I wish all the best to all of you, and really I thank our Father Secretary, Principal and other members for having joined and having given permission and blessed this occasion by their gracious presence. Thank you, one and all. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, for making this event extraordinary with your speech. On G.H. Hardy's words, Archimedes will be remembered when Aeschylus is forgotten, because languages die and mathematical ideas do not. Immortality may be a silly word, but probably a mathematician has the best chance of whatever it may mean. Moving on to the core of the event, I request Dr. A. Rajesh, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, to introduce the resource person.
Good morning, everyone. I thank the Lord Almighty for His abundant blessings. I would like to express my gratitude to our management and head of the department, Dr. J. John Arikiraj, for his giving me opportunity of introducing the resource person on this august occasion. I feel honored to introduce our resource person, Dr. B.V. Senthil Kumar, Professor of Mathematics, Department of Information Technology, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Nizwa, Oman. He has completed BSc in Mathematics, Sacred Heart College, Tirupattur. He has pursued MSc in Mathematics, Uris College, Vellore. MPhil in Mathematics, Madurai Kamaraj University, Tamil Nadu. Qualified in CSIR UGC NET for leadership in mathematical sciences in December 2005. He has completed PhD doctorate in mathematics from Tiruvallur University. Sir has received Best Research Paper Award in the year 2018-19, in the Best Research Paper Award in 2019-20. Sir has 21 years of experience research experience 12 years. Then SAR has number of research article published in peer-reviewed journals 66, Scopus Index 28, then participants in conferences 26, participation in faculty development programs 3, participation in workshop 14, areas of interest, functional equation, differential equation, fuzzy sets, soft sets, etc. SAR has Google Scholar H index 15, then Google Scholar 17, number of citation 577, Scopus H index 8, SAR has research project 2, publication of textbooks 5, contribution of book chapters 5, SAR has given invited talks nearly 27 more. From this, I am so happy. With this brief note, I would like to conclude once again. I thank Dr. B.V. Senthil Kumar for accepting our invitation and grace this occasion. We are really blessed to have such a dignified and versatile personality among us today. I believe this sharing of knowledge would definitely enlighten everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Concurring with Hardy's words, we are delighted to have Dr. B.V. Senthil Kumar, Professor of Mathematics, Department of Information Technology and Applied Sciences, NISWA, Oman, to share his valuable thoughts on multiplicative inverse functional equations and their applications. I request him to lead us into the interesting and informative session. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, one and all. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Respected Reverend Father Secretary, Principal, Vice Principal and Head, Department of Mathematics, Reverend Father Controller of Examinations, Reverend Father Dean of Students, the organizing secretaries, Dr. Jetruth Emelda Mary, Dr. Rajesh, other faculty members of mathematics of St. Joseph College of Arts and Science, and research scholars from various universities and colleges, and my dear students of St. Joseph College of Arts and Science. A very good morning to everyone participating in this webinar. It is my great honor to thank the management and Department of Mathematics of St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science for providing me this wonderful opportunity to share my research work through this international webinar. So the topic of my talk is multiplicative inverse functional equations and their applications. So these are the things we are going to discuss in my talk. The first one is introduction of theory of functional equations, the features of functional equations such as their contribution, significance, classification, and various forms. Then this is a most important research area in case of theory of functional equation, that is stability of functional equation. and our research work on stability results of some multiplicative inverse functional equations in non-Archimedean fields, Felbin's type fuzzy normed spaces, quasi-beta normed spaces, recent applications of functional equations, and then our recent research work published and the ongoing research work what we are doing now. And at the end of this talk, I'm going to pose some open problems which are not yet solved in this research field. So this is a very interesting area in mathematics because it requires very simple algebraic calculations, and we can easily arrive at very interesting results. So this is the definition of functional equation. So many mathematicians have defined functional equations in different form, but this is the fundamental definition of a functional equation. So a functional equation is defined as an equation that specifies a function in implicit form. Actually, the study of functional equation, it started 260 years ago, and the growth of this field happened only in the last 6 decades. So he is the well-known Hungarian mathematician. His name is Yezel. According to him, the functional equation is an equation in which both sides contain a finite number of functions. Some are known and some are unknown. So an equation will have both sides. That means in between equal sign, you will have an expression on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. So on both sides, suppose if there are some functions, then we call it as a functional equation. So these are all examples of functional equation. These are all available in very famous standard books on functional equation. So at the end of my talk, I will show you what are the standard books that are available. They are available freely in the internet also. So the first functional equation, f of x plus y equal to f of x plus f of y. Here on both sides we have functions, that is why this is a functional equation. Similarly, g of xy equal to g of x plus g of y. So these are all other examples of functional equation. So you could find the last functional equation where this right hand side has only the variable x. So this is also an example of a functional equation. So that means it need not to have functions always on both sides. Sometimes you may have a variable on any one side or on both sides also. So I'm going to compare this functional equation with the differential equation and difference equation. So we know a differential equation is a mathematical equation which relates some function with its derivatives. Whereas a difference equation expresses a value of a sequence as a function of other terms. So that means other terms, the previous terms or the succeeding terms in the sequence is called a difference equation. So these are the salient features of functional equation. What is the need of studying this functional equation concept? So it is used to study the properties of the function involved in the functional equation. Sometimes it is possible to convert a functional equation into an algebraic equation. Once if you convert into an algebraic equation, it is easy to solve that algebraic equation. From that, it is easy to arrive the solution of the functional equation. And the theory of functional equation forms a basis for modeling many problems. Recent developments in this field have inspired, attracted, influenced many mathematicians to bring more interesting results. So there are many contributions of functional equations in other branches of mathematics, such as algebra, analysis, and topology, etc. So not only in other branches of mathematics, it has got lot of scope in other fields such as physics, biology, economics, mechanics, geometry, statistics, measure theory, algebraic geometry, group theory, astronomy, game theory, fuzzy set theory, information theory, coding theory, stochastic process, etc. So the importance of functional equation is, prior to differential calculus, the physical processes, the physical systems were studied in terms of functions, where there was an input variable x and an output variable f of x. And the output variable, otherwise the function f of x, had to satisfy some relations corresponding to some properties of the physical process, which were often known by observation, which leads to functional equation for the function f. The main advantage of modeling physical problem by functional equation is, it is not necessary to assume the differentiability of the function f. So the current research topic in functional equations are to find the general solution of a functional equation, to find the classical stability results, and to study the application of different types of functional equations. So these are the current research topic which are going on in this research field for the past 6 decades. And there are many research papers have been published on these topics in different journals. So functional equations are classified as ordinary functional equation, partial functional equation, system of functional equations, mixed type functional equations, rational functional equation, or multiplicative inverse functional equation. So this last classification of functional equation was introduced by myself and my guide, Dr. K. Ravi of Sacred Heart College, Tirupattur. So we started dealing with this type of functional equation. We were the first researchers to have the first attempt to study about this multiplicative inverse functional equation in this research area. So ordinary functional equation means the function which is involved in the equation will have only one variable. For example, if we take f of x plus 2 equal to f of x plus 1 minus f of x minus 1, here the function f is involving only one variable. If an equation in which a function involves more than one variable, for example, here the left hand side function has 3 variables, and therefore this is an example of a partial function equation. So similar to system of algebraic equations or system of equations, we can define system of functional equations. So this example 3 is a system of functional equations. If you solve these 2 equations, you will get the same solution. So therefore, when you have 2 equations which have same solution, then we call them as system of functional equations. Now mixed type functional equation, this is a different one. So it is derived from 2 or more combination of functions such as additive, quadratic, cubic, quartic, quintic, etc. Example 4 is a mixed type quadratic additive functional equation. So example 5, this is the very first pioneering multiplicative inverse functional equation, otherwise we call it as rational functional equation, and its solution we have obtained it as r of x equal to 1 by x. The solution itself is in the form of a rational function. So these are all the solutions of the corresponding functional equation. So the first functional equation has solution f of x equal to kx. So in general, we call this as an additive functional equation. Second equation, its solution is f of x equal to e power x, and we call it as exponential functional equation. Third one, we call it as a multiplicative functional equation. Multiplicative functional equation is different from multiplicative inverse functional equation. And fourth one, we call it as logarithmic functional equation. The first 4 equations are the standard equations which were considered by the mathematician Cauchy, and we call them as Cauchy functional equation. And the last one is called as Jensen's functional equation, and its solution is f of x equal to cx plus a, where c and a are constants. So there are some well-known functional equations. The name for these functional equations are given based on the property that is involved in the equation, or sometimes the name is given by the name of the mathematician who discovered or dealt it for the study in other fields. As this is the first one, that is Cauchy functional equation. It was dealt by Cauchy. Second one is Jensen's functional equation. It was studied by Jensen. Third one, D'Alembert functional equation. This type of functional equation comes in mechanics. Wilson functional equation. Euler-Lagrange-Rassius quadratic functional equation. Abel functional equation. Pythagorean functional equation. Davison functional equation. So apart from the functional equation dealt by different mathematicians, there are some other various forms of functional equations. The first one is quadratic functional equation, f of x plus y plus f of x minus y equal to 2 times f of x plus 2 times f of y. So you can easily notice that f of x equal to x square is a solution. You can substitute f of x equal to x square on both sides of this equation, and this function satisfies equation 1. That is why we call it as quadratic functional equation. And also this functional equation satisfies the important parallelogram law, norm x plus y whole square plus norm x minus y whole square equal to 2 norm x square plus 2 norm y square. So this important parallelogram law is dealt in functional analysis. So this equation 2 is an example of a cubic functional equation because its solution is f of x equal to x cube. Equation 3 is a quartic functional equation because its solution is a quartic function. Quartic means power 4. So this can be generalized for any positive integer. For example, if n is an odd positive integer, we can frame a different functional equation of this form. For example, if you put n is equal to 5, 5 is an odd positive integer, you will generate or you can frame a functional equation whose solution is f of x equal to x power 5. When n is equal to 11, 11 is also an odd positive integer. So you will get a different functional equation whose solution is f of x equal to x power 11. So this can be generalized for any odd positive integer n. So those who are interested, those who are in doing research in this area, or those who are interested in doing research in this area, you can try for different values of n, odd values of n, odd positive integer values of n. Suppose if n is an even positive integer, this is the general form of a functional equation. You can substitute n is equal to any odd even positive integer. For example, n is equal to 20, 22, 24, like that. So far the research has carried out for the value n is equal to 30. So we call it as trivigintic functional equation. So those who are interested, you can go beyond n is equal to 30, 31, 32, something like that. So this is one direction of research in this area. Then another one is there are various mixed type functional equations. For example, if f of x equal to x plus x square, then we call this function to be an additive and quadratic mixed type function, and it satisfies equation number 6. So this is an example, equation 7, whose solution is an additive. If it is only x power 1, we call it as linear or additive. So in case of functions, we call it as additive function. So if it is x power 1. So this is an additive and cubic mixed type function, and it satisfies equation number 7. So similarly, equation number 8, its solution is a mixed type function of additive, quadratic, and quartic. You can check by substituting these function on both sides of this equation. So definitely they will satisfy. These are all dealt by many mathematicians. A lot of results are available based on these types of functional equations. I have just collected all these things from the published papers, so that you will have those who are at the beginning of this research area, or those who do not have any idea about this functional equation area, for them these equations will be definitely benefit for them. So this equation 9 is a functional equation whose solution is a mixed type, additive, cubic, and quartic function. So whenever, if you want to find a solution of any equation, so I am going to demonstrate, I am going to present you how to find a solution of a functional equation. I already told you equation 11 is a quadratic functional equation because it satisfies the standard parallelogram law. Not only this is a quadratic functional equation, we can also frame many number of quadratic functional equations. There are hundreds of quadratic functional equations available in the literature of this theory of functional equation. And I have taken equation 10, which is quite different from equation 11. It is easy to check equation 10 is also a quadratic function, because when I put f of x equal to x square, it satisfies equation 10 also. Then what is the difference between 10 and 11? So that means both 10 and 11 are equivalent to each other. When you say that the solutions are same for two equations, and if it is possible to prove that both the equations are equivalent to each other, then the solution of one equation becomes the solution of the other equation. This is the idea behind the solution of any functional equation. If we want to find, and we have to prove that it is equivalent to the standard functional equation. Now, how to prove this equation 10 is equivalent to 11 and equation 11 is equivalent to equation 10. So it is simple algebraic calculation. So just to put x equal to 0 and y equal to 0, you will get f of 0 equal to 0 in equation 11. So first equation 11 is equivalent to equation 10. That part is proved here. Then if you set x equal to 0, you will get f of y equal to f of minus y. It means it is an even function. Even function means the function may be quadratic, quartic, we do not know. But here we can confirm that the function involved is an even function. Then taking y equal to x and y equal to 2x, you will observe f of 2x equal to 4 f of x and f of 3x equal to 9 f of x. So this can be generalized by using mathematical induction to get f of kx equal to k square f of x for any positive integer k. Then by replacing x comma y by 3x plus y and 3x minus y in equation 11 and then adding, we will get this equation number 12. So that means we have arrived equation number 12. Converse part, that is the second equation is satisfied means how to get the first equation. So these are all the algebraic calculations, simple calculation. Just to put y equal to x and you will get f of 3x equal to 9 f of x. That means when you take out of 3 from the function, it becomes 3 square. That is why it is 9. If we take this 4 from f, that becomes 4 square. That is why you are getting 16 f of x. That means here itself you can identify the function is a quadratic function. If you want to prove a cubic function, then you should prove f of 3x equal to 27 f of x, because if you take 3 from f, it should be 3 cube f of x. So 3 cube means 27 f of x. So this is again some algebraic calculations. I don't want to discuss much more about all these things because you could find a lot of published papers in which the solutions are obtained by this logic. You cannot say use the same logic for all the equations. We have to work it out and we have to do lot of trial work so that to achieve the solution of the considered functional equation. Yes. So the second part of this research area is stability of functional equation. So first I will start with what is the stability in mathematics. It is a condition in which a slight disturbance in a system does not produce a significant disrupting effect on that system. For example, if you consider a solution to a differential equation, we say that it is stable if a slight different solution that is close to it when x equal to 0 remains close for nearby values of x. So these stability concepts are very important in physical applications because deviations in mathematical models inevitably result from errors in measurement. And also, a stable solution will be usable despite such deviation. It is a condition with a slight disturbance in the system which does not make an important change in that system. So in some physical applications, there may be deviations in the mathematical models which will give errors in measurement. But in case of stability of functional equation, the idea is a different one. So actually, the stability of functional equation is originated through a famous talk presented by this mathematician Ulam in 1940. His talk motivated to study the stability problem of various functional equations. So according to him, the meaning of stability of functional equation is when you consider a functional inequality like this, g of x plus y minus g of x, This is actually minus g of y less than or equal to delta. There is an error here, printing mistake. It should be minus. If you solve this inequality, it is a function g. Please note that this inequality is different from the functional equation a of x plus y minus a of x minus a of y equal to 0. So this is a Cauchy functional equation and its solution is a of x equal to a constant c into x. So finding the stability of functional equation means we have to find under what conditions does there exist an approximate solution A to the above inequality such that g of x minus a of x less than or equal to a very small positive value epsilon. So the inequality, this functional inequality, its solution is g. This is a functional equation, its solution is A. If it is possible to find the difference between the solution of this inequality and this equation is very small, then we call it as the functional equation has stability. So this question is stated as a theorem. So this is the Ulam's theorem or Ulam's problem. If G is a group and H is a metric group with a metric D, then for a given epsilon greater than 0, does there exist a delta greater than 0 such that if a function f from G to H satisfies this inequality, then there exists a homomorphism A from G to H with D of f of x comma a of x less than or equal to epsilon. So that means this is f of x comma y equal to f of x, f of y is a homomorphism. Its solution is f. If there exists an almost approximate homomorphism A which is very close to f, then we say that the functional equation is stable. So in the next year, Hayes was the first mathematician who gave an affirmative answer to the question of Ulam. He gave a very brilliant answer that if you consider any functional equation, that functional equation could be proved that it is stable by considering Banach spaces. He has considered Banach spaces. In the case of Ulam, he told to consider metric space, but metric space can be extended as a Banach space under some conditions. So he derived a function a of x from the given functional inequality, and this function a of x and the solution of the functional inequality, the difference between them is a very small quantity, and therefore whenever there is a functional equation, if it satisfies this condition of Hayes theorem, then the equation is said to have Hayes-Ulam stability. So these are all the fundamental ideas of theory of research in the functional equation. So all these ideas we have implemented in our new multiplicative inverse quartic functional equation. So equation 21 is a quartic functional equation because it is easy to check a reciprocal quartic functional equation function is a solution of equation 21. Reciprocal means 1 by u power 4. 1 by u power 4 is a function of this equation. So we have found its stability in the non-Archimedean fields. So these are all the axioms for a field to become non-Archimedean field. Mod lambda should be 0 if and only if lambda is 0. Mod lambda u equal to mod lambda mod u. Mod lambda plus mu less than or equal to maximum of mod lambda comma mod mu. So this third condition is slightly changing. Normally we call this third condition to be triangle inequality in case of metric space or Banach space. But in case of non-Archimedean field, this third condition is changing. Now, with these axioms, a field becomes a non-Archimedean field. So in the setting of non-Archimedean field, we have proved that the stability of our multiplicative inverse functional equation holds good by proving this theorem. So here we have considered a functional inequality, and from this functional inequality we have derived an approximate function m, capital M q of u, which is very close to the solution of this small mq, and thereby proving the stability is true for the functional equation we have dealt in equation number 21. So this is a multiplicative inverse cubic functional equation, and we have studied its stabilities in Felbin's type fuzzy normed spaces. So the solution of this functional equation is in the form of 1 by a cube. A cube is in the denominator, that is why we call it as reciprocal cubic or multiplicative inverse cubic. So through this theorem, we have obtained the solution to the stability problem of that functional equation. So equation 29 and 30 are multiplicative inverse quadratic functional equation. So that means equation 29 and 30 will have the solutions as r of y equal to 1 by y square. So all the solutions will have will be in the form of rational function, and the stabilities are obtained in quasi-beta normed spaces by proving this theorem. And there are various stability results we have considered for different types of multiplicative inverse functional equations in different other spaces, such as intuitionistic fuzzy normed spaces, paranormed spaces, matrix normed spaces, P-Banach spaces, Menger probabilistic normed spaces, dislocated metric spaces. So these are all the recent applications of functional equations in many fields of mathematics, in mechanics, geometry, statistics, measure theory, algebraic geometry, group theory, probability theory, stochastic process, classical mechanics, astronomy, economics, dynamic programming, game theory, computer graphics, neural networks, digital image processing, statistics, information theory, coding theory, fuzzy set theory, decision theory, artificial intelligence, cluster analysis, multi-value logic, population ethics, and many other fields. So I'm going to present few applications which we were dealt in our study. So equation 35 we have considered to apply in spatial filtering in image enhancement. So there are some images whose display may not be that much visible. So for improving the quality of images, we have considered this equation 35, and we have obtained its solution mathematically as xy plus x plus y plus c. And we have considered another functional equation 36. Its solution is in the form of c by x plus y, and we have compared the experimental results of these two equations, how they are performing well to improve the quality of an image with noises. So there are noises in image processing. So many noises are there in that study. We have considered two different types of noises. One is Gaussian noise, another one is pepper noise. See, this is the original image, and we have imposed Gaussian noise with that original image. Through first equation, the image with Gaussian noise has got this type of quality. Image with Gaussian noise with second equation has got this fourth picture. So that means equation 35 gives better picture when compared with better picture produced by equation 36. Similarly, the original image is imposed with salt and pepper noise. When this salt and pepper noise image is enhanced through equation 35 and 36, here also we are getting equation 35 gives a better quality of the picture. So this is one of the important application we have considered in image enhancement in image processing. So this is another application of functional equation to find sum of first n natural numbers. For this, we have taken fk of n equal to 1 power k plus 2 power k, etc. up to n power k. When k is 1, then you will get sum of natural numbers from 1 to n. We know its formula is n into n plus 1. So that can be derived through functional equation. For example, when k is 1, this fk of n becomes f1 of n, and f1 of m plus n, you can write it as f1 of m plus f1 of n plus m into n. If we define a function g1 as f1 of x minus 1 by 2 into x square, then we can prove that g1 satisfies equation 39, that is g1 of m plus n equal to g1 of m plus g1 of n. It means it is in the form of Cauchy's additive functional equation, and therefore we can say that its solution is g1 of n equal to cn. So substituting g1 of n equal to cn, you will get f1 of n equal to cn plus 1 by 2 n square. And to get the value of c, we can use the initial condition, that is when you consider the first term f1 of 1 is 1. Using this condition, you will find c equal to 1 by 2, and therefore the sum of first n natural numbers from 1 to n can be derived as n into n plus 1 by 2. So there are other applications of multiplicative inverse functional equations in physics. We have considered for equation 42. It is useful to design some systems in physics to find the rigidity modulus of various instances for the same material. And we have proved that the solution of equation 42 is in the form of 1 by u into v. Suppose if you apply a force F tangential to this top surface of a block, which is in the form of a box type, where the bottom face is fixed. Under the action of this force, the body will suffer a slight change in shape. So that means you are applying force on the right hand side, so it will get sheared, and therefore the volume will not change. Only thing is the shape of the box will be sheared through an angle V. So if the area of the top surface is taken as U, then the shear stress is force by area of the surface. So it is F by U. And the shear modulus of the object is defined as the ratio of shear stress to shear strain. So therefore, rigidity modulus is defined as F by U. F by U is shear stress and shear strain is V. Therefore, it is F by U into V. And this formula 43 is used to find the rigidity modulus. Now, suppose if I denote this rigidity modulus as a function of U and V, because if U and V changes, the value of the rigidity modulus will change. Therefore, if I take it as a function of two variables u and v, then R of ui comma vj is the rigidity modulus of the material with sheared stress angle vj and with the top surface ui. If the top surface is with area u1 plus u2 and it is sheared through an angle v1 plus v2, then we will have the rigidity modulus as 1/4 of harmonic mean of these four functions, keeping the force F is a constant. Then the above relation, this relation could be modeled as our functional equation. So there is another application of the same functional equation in the case of physics, where we consider pressure, which is equal to force by area. Suppose if a constant force F acts on a rectangular surface of length u and breadth v, then the pressure exerted on the surface is given by pressure equal to force by area, that is F by u into v. So in this case also, suppose if you take a rectangular surface of length u1 plus u2 and breadth v1 plus v2, then the pressure exerted on that surface is given by F equal to u1 plus u2 into uv1 plus v2. And the pressure is obtained as 1/4 of harmonic mean of these four functions. So this relation also could be modeled as our functional equation 42. So this is a different functional equation and it is inverse fourth power functional equation. So it has got application with the intensity of scattered light and decay of radar energy in physics. So equation 46 and 47, they are called as reciprocal quadratic functional equation. When for a particular case, when n equal to 2, it is described using Newton's law of gravitation. So we know what is Newton's law of gravitation. It is defined, the force is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. So this force is where G is a gravitational constant, M1, M2 are the masses of these two objects, and R is the distance between these two objects. This force, suppose if you consider three different objects at a distance between first and second as x1, second and third as x2, then you can define this force between first and second as f of x1, second and third as f of x2, first and third object as f of x1 plus x2 by equation 50. So you can connect equation 48, 49 and 50 by simple algebraic equations, algebraic calculations like this, and you will arrive at equation 52. That is our equation. Similarly, you can consider in other situation to get the second equation. So these are all the functional equations we have applied in optics. So these two are said to be reciprocal functional equation because their solutions are the reciprocal functions 1/r. So in manufacturing optimal instruments, we come across compound lenses. Suppose if the focal lengths of two thin lenses are R and S, then the combined focal length F is given by RS by R plus S, whereas the combined power is the reciprocal combined power P is given by P equal to R plus S. So in view of these theories in physics, we can associate our functional equation with the combined focal length and power of lenses. So these are all, this is the recent publication of my research work. So far, what I have presented is different types of functional equations are there in the literature, quadratic, cubic, like that, and we have extended this theory to study in about multiplicative inverse functional equations like 1 by x, 1 by x square, 1 by x cube, like that. Now, the idea in algebra, that is an algebraic polynomial equation g of x equal to 0. If we replace the variable x by 1 by x, we get the same equation. Then in that case, we call it as a reciprocal equation. Also, if alpha is a root of this polynomial equation g of x equal to 0, then 1 by alpha is also a root of g of x equal to 0. So this is the condition for a reciprocal equation, reciprocal algebraic equation. These concepts motivated us to deal with a new functional equation of the form 56. The interesting idea for this functional equation is it has got two different solutions, f of x equal to x and f of x equal to 1 by x, which is, this is a quite different from other functional equations which are available in the literature, and we have studied its hyperstability in the setting of real numbers. And this is the particular case when m equal to 2, in that equation, it produces this equation. That is, when you consider only two variables. When you consider m equal to 3, that means if you take three variables, this equation will be produced. And this is the ongoing research work we are doing right now. And we are considering a p-dimensional, or we are considering a functional equation with p variables. So I have shown you this functional equation involving two variables only. This can be extended for 3 variables, 4 variables. In general, it can be extended for any variables p, and we are working on it to find its stability problems in the setting of non-Archimedean fields. And it is a different one because its solution is f of x equal to x square, and there is another solution. It is multiplicative inverse quadratic function f of x equal to 1 by x square. Two different solutions are there. So as I mentioned in the beginning of my talk, I'm going to pose some open problems which may be helpful for the research scholars and those who are interested in doing research in this work. I have posed some open problems here. So these problems are unsolved yet, and if anybody is interested, you can try to find out solution to these problems. Is it possible to form a mixed type functional equation arising from additive and multiplicative inverse functions? So already I told you mixed type means, so for example, additive and quadratic, its solution is x plus x square. Additive and cubic means its solution is x plus x cube. Now the question here is it possible to have a solution with x plus 1 by x? So that is the first question. Then form a functional equation whose solution is a rational function of the form x by x square plus 1. Why I have given this one is this function has got of application in medicine. So once we frame a functional equation whose solution is of this form, then it could be applied in medical field. Then third one is find the solution of f of x equal to f of x, f of y equal to f of xy plus f of x by y. So these are all the books, standard books. Those who are interested, you can download. These are all available in the internet, freely available. All standard books. And the last one, we have also published a book through World Scientific Publishing Company. And with this, I will conclude my talk. I will wind up my talk here. Thank you very much to one and all for your patient listening throughout the lecture. Thank you very much. Sir?
Thank you, sir, for honoring us with your present and exquisite talk. Dear participants, we have shared the feedback link in the chat box. Kindly fill it up and you can get your e-certificate. It's time for feedback. Before concluding this event with vote of thanks, let us have some of the participants come forth to share their experience.
So it would be very appreciated if somebody asks questions. So I am ready to reply them. So if any question is there, you can put it in chat box.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning, ma'am.
I am Sadhana from first MSc Maths of St. Joseph College.
Yes.
I have certain questions about this. What is the
Yes,
real life application of this topic?
Yes, just now I told you there are a lot of applications of functional equations. Various functional equations are there. I have shown 3 examples because I cannot present all the applications. There are a lot of applications of functional equations. So I have shown you one of the application of functional equation we can use in image processing. We can make use of it to find the standard formula to find the sum of positive integers from 1 to n. And third application is you can make use of it to find various instances in physics. So there are some more applications. They are used in wireless sensor networks, then neural networks, dynamic programming. All these things are available. The applications are available in most of the standard textbooks.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Shazad Hussain from Lord's College.
Yes,
Sir,
yes,
as you say, you had researched on multiplicative inverse in equation, na, sir?
yes, ma'am.
You and your scholar both researcher has done. Can you give me an
Yeah.
example for that, sir? Like where we can use this multiplicative inverse equations?
Just now
Like
I
as you
also
said.
told you. Just now I told you the last 20-25 slides were about
Yes,
the
yes.
application of multiplicative inverse functional equation, where it can be used in physics. You can make use of in physics, optics, and we have applied in
Acha.
image processing also.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So there is another question, an example of functional equation is fuzzy logic.
That's me only, sir.
Yeah. Actually, we have considered to study functional equation in fuzzy spaces, not in logic, fuzzy spaces, because there are a lot of modern spaces that are emerging in mathematics. So one of the modern space is fuzzy normed space, intuitionistic fuzzy normed space. In all those modern spaces also, we have obtained the solution to the stability problems of functional equations.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
is multiplicative inverse function and reciprocal function are equal, same or different?
Yes, same. Both are same. So some mathematicians, they are calling it as reciprocal. and some are calling it as multiplicative, but both are same actually, because if you find the synonym of both of them, they are same. Multiplicative inverse is equal to reciprocal. Is it necessary for satisfies both the solutions for multiplicative inverse functional? Are you asking about that open problem? Somebody, Tamil K.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir.
Yes,
This is
yes.
Tamil.
Are you asking about that open problem?
No, sir. Just I'm asking, yeah, general for the solution of multiplicative inverse functional equation, sir. Is it
Yes,
must?
yes.
Is it must
Not
satisfy?
both. Yes, yes. If it is possible to find, if it has more than one solution, it is well and good.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if it has only one solution, then no problem. You try
Sir,
to
if
find
it is-
all the solutions of multiplicative inverse functional equation.
Okay, sir. If it is, sir, every functional equation, not like cos E functional equation or quadratic functional equation, as the solution f of x is equal to x, or quadratic functional equation as f of x is equal x square, like cubic quadratic, sir.
Yes,
In the
yes,
case,
like that, multiplicative inverse functional equations will have solutions. F of x equal to 1 by x, f of x equal to 1 by x square. Just you have to take the reciprocals.
okay, sir. Sir, in cos equation we have additive, quadratic, cubic, like etc. up to it's going, sir.
Yes, x power 30. I told you x power 30 up to x power 30. The research has been done so far.
Yes, sir. I worked on x power 32, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good.
I have little bit one doubt in same in the case we have like that such kind of 32, 31 up to etc. sir. In
Okay.
multiplicative inverse functional equation, having such
Yes.
kind of numbers, sir.
Yes. Actually, I have not presented about that one. I have extended up to 1 by x power 30 also.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I have extended up to 1 by x power 30, and we have published a book on that topic also. It is available in the internet also. Freely you can download. The topic of the book is multiplicative inverse functional equations.
Sorry, sir. Once again, sir. Multiplicative
inverse functional equations.
Okay, sir. By yours, sir?
Yes. It is authored by me.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Sir, is it radical is different from multiplicative inverse, sir?
Yes. Radical means you should have square root, cube root, like that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Actually, we have studied other functional equations which are of the form reciprocal, radical also.
Okay, sir. Sir, radical and root functional equation is the same, sir?
Yes. Root is a particular case of a radical.
Yeah. Okay,
then you have x power 1 by n. Nth root means it is a radical.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you very much.
Sir?
Yes.
Recently, 3 days before, one of the article was published in approximate reciprocal Lie star derivation.
Yes, in soft computing, yes, Springer journal.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can you give some ideas? What about Lie star derivation like that, sir?
Actually, they are motivated through the ideas of quadratic, cubic, and quartic derivations. We have extended it for reciprocal quadratic, reciprocal cubic, and reciprocal quartic derivations.
Okay, sir. Sir, if it is, we can try it in radical, sir.
You can try. You can try.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is it possible to link the equation to graph theory? Yes, if maybe because this field is going on developing day by day. So far there is no application in graph theory. Maybe in future there may be some application in graph theory also. So far there is no application in graph theory. Maybe
afternoon, sir.
weightage. Yes.
I'm Bhavadani from First MSc Max from St. Joseph College of Arts and Sciences, sir. I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Since you said stability is a research area and functional equations, and you said there
Yes.
are different types of functional equations. So does stability applies to all types of functional equations? It is applicable for
Yes.
all?
That is why whenever we cannot assure that all functional equation will have stability. If it has, okay. Suppose if does not have stability, then also you can say that for that particular functional equation, the stability is not holding good.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
But actually, you can go through our published papers. We have given some examples where the stability fails for some particular cases of functional equation.
Okay, sir. So for all functional equations, either stability is applicable or not applicable. We can get
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes the stability will not be stable, will not hold good.
Okay, sir.
So we have to work it out. We have to find out. We have to prove whether stability holds good or not.
We have to work for that particular functional equation whether stability
Yes,
holds.
whatever the functional equation you are considering,
Okay.
for that particular functional equation, you can work out.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Divya Santosh from St. Joseph College of Arts and Science. So today's international webinar on multiplicative inverse functional equation presented by Dr. B.V. Sendil Kumar was very interesting to listen about his presentation on some results application of functional equation and spatial filtering and image enhancement. And of course, as our resource person interacted with some of our students by clearing their doubts. This session was very wonderful and very helpful among the students to gain knowledge in multiplicative inverse.
Thank you for your responses. To wrap up this phenomenal event, I now call upon Ms. S. Kavya from 2nd MSc Mathematics to propose vote of thanks.
Hello all. First of all, let us thank Lord Almighty for bestowing His grace upon us throughout the event. To begin with a gesture of gratitude towards the people who contributed in the success of the event, I sincerely thank our Secretary, Reverend Father G. Peter Rajendram, in supporting us to organize this wonderful event. My deepest thanks to Professor Dr. M. Arumai Selvam, Principal of St. Joseph College of Arts and Science. A heartfelt thanks to Professor Dr. J. John Arogyaraj, Vice Principal and Convener of this webinar, by whom we couldn't have pulled this off. My warmest thanks to Reverend Father Dr. S. Xavier, Controller of Examinations. Then I extend my gratitude to Reverend Father Dr. A. Alex, Dean of Studies, for standing by us through the start till the end of the event and making this as a grand success. We are eternally grateful to the star of the event, Dr. B.V. Sendil Kumar, for his enthralling speech on multiplicative inverse functional equations and their applications, through which we are able to dive into learning new concepts. The people without whom this event would have just remained on papers, my earnest thanks goes to them. They are none other than our organizing secretaries, Professor Dr. L. Jetruth Emelda Mary, and Professor Dr. A. Rajesh. My deep appreciation and gratitude to the delegates who attended this event till the end. I'm very thankful to our college faculty and the event participants with whom this event was made possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kavya. I thank each and everyone present here in making this event a successful one. Thank you.
Dr. Rajesh, shall I leave the meeting, sir?
Sir,
Dr. Rajesh?
thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sanjay Kumar, sir. Thank you for your
Yes, thank you. Thank you very
nice
much.
presentation. We enjoyed a lot, sir. Really, it's
Okay,
a
okay.
great time for us. Don't. So we'll wait for
Sir, thank you so much for your acceptance. We feel very happy. Your presentation is very nice. So today we got the additional knowledge from you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the opportunity provided, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Sivakumar, sir, Sandil Kumar, sir.
Yes,
So,
sir.
thank you so much for
your work. Thank you for your wonderful talk, sir.
Thank you. We'll meet again, sir. On some other
Yes, sir,
occasion,
sure.
we'll meet. Thank you. Thank you so
Definitely,
much.
sir. Okay, sir. Thank
So
you.
on
sir.
behalf of the secretary, principal, and father fathers, I would like to place my gratitudeness to Dr. Sivakumar, Sandil Kumar, once again. And I also congratulate Dr. Jetruth Emelda Mary and Dr. Rajesh and other student coordinators for having arranged this program wonderfully. And also I wish all the students participants a very great moment. So thank you all of you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.